Hi, today we are going to practice adding and subtracting integers. Here we go. First, let's talk about the word integer. An integer is simply a number that has a positive or a negative sign. If a number is written with no sign at all, we assume that it is positive. We'll be adding and subtracting today, so sometimes it's good to just go back to basics before we start a new topic. When we're thinking of addition, I want you to just think of it as combining two things. And when we're subtracting, let's remember that subtraction just means we're finding the difference. So we're going to keep these basic meanings of addition and subtraction in our mind as we tackle addition and subtraction of integers. Let's look at the question 5 plus a negative 7. Now this 5 here, because I don't have a sign written, we assume it's positive. I could have just as easily written it like this and it would be the same question. Okay, so I'm going to use this number line to just illustrate what's happening here with the numbers. Remember, we're combining here. I like to turn my number lines vertically. I just find it more intuitive to think of up as positive and down as negative. Say 0 is here. Here we've got a 5 that's positive. So I've gone up to 5. And then I'm combining that with a 7 that is negative. So negative would mean going down. So from here I'm going to go 7 down. So I went up 5. And I went down 7. So I'm combining the movement of 5 up, 7 down. And where do I finish? I can see that I have finished at 2 below the 0, so that is a negative 2. So by combining the positive 5 and the negative 7, the net result, or the overall result, means I will land at a negative 2. Another way that I sometimes like to teach addition of integers is by thinking of this as a team situation. I have a positive team and I have a negative team. How many points does my positive team have? They have 5. How many points does my negative team have? They have 7. So who wins this competition between positive and negative? Well, team negative wins. They have more points. And by how much do they win? They win by 2 points. Sometimes this makes a lot more sense to people when they're adding integers. So we can visualize the number line, we can think teams. Either way, we should be getting the same answer. Okay, let's try this one. Negative 8 plus negative 3. So let's put a 0 on our number line so we have somewhere to start. Now first I should be going down 8. So I've gone down 8, and then I need to go down 3. So the overall movement of this puts me at a negative 11. So I've gone down 8 and then down 3 more, so overall I have gone down 11. If you want to think of this as the teams situation that I mentioned before, let's see, I've got positive team has 0. Positive team did not score. Negative team has a total of 8 and 3, which is 11. So who wins this game? Negative team wins by how much? By 11. No matter which way you look at it, negative 11 is the answer. Okay, let's try some subtracting. Remember, when we're subtracting numbers, we are always just trying to find the difference between the two numbers. So here we have a negative 3 minus a positive 5. So I need to find the difference. If I wanted to get to negative 3 from a position of positive 5, what would the difference be? How far would I have to travel to get from here to here? So I'm going to start by showing where 0 is. I'm going to plot these two numbers on my number line. So negative 3, which is where I want to end up, is right here. And a positive 5, which is where I have to start, is right here. Now, if I'm trying to get to this number, I'm trying to get here, and I have to start here at positive 5, what is the difference between negative 3 and positive 5? It's 8, and I have had to go down. So my answer is negative. Negative 8 is my answer. So because we're looking for the difference between negative 3 and a positive 5, I can see on my number line that the difference is negative 8. Another way to look at subtraction is the opposite of addition. So I could rewrite this subtraction question by adding the opposite integer. And we will see that using our addition strategies, we're going to get the same answer because addition is the opposite of subtraction. So I can add the opposite integer to the one that I start with. So using either method, I can see that combining a -3 with a -5, I will get a -8. When you're faced with subtracting an integer, you can use the visualization of the number line to show the difference between the two numbers, or if you prefer, you can rewrite your subtraction as an addition question where you are adding the opposite. And by the opposite, I mean you simply swap the sign of your second number in the subtraction sentence. Okay, let's try this subtraction. I have got 9 minus a -7, so I'm trying to find the difference between a +9 and a -7. Let's try it on the number line first. I'll plot my 9, and I'll plot my -7. Now I'm trying to go from here to here, and that will tell me the difference. So from -7, I need to go up to the 9. So I'm going up 7, which takes me to the 0, and then up 9 more, which takes me to the 9. So 7 and 9 is 16, and I've had to go up to do it, so I have a +16 for an answer. If you'd like to use add the opposite method, you'll change your question to an addition question of the opposite integer. 9 plus a +7. I could simply write this as 9 plus 7. Those two sentences mean the same thing. Either way, the answer is 16. Okay, now it's your turn. Pause the video, try these questions, and then come back to check your answers. Okay, let's use our number line, keep it handy, and we'll do the addition ones first. Let's mark 0. Okay, 7 plus a -4. So I've had to go up 7, and then from there I've had to go down 4, which gives me a net movement of +3. You could also think team positive has 7, team negative has 4. Overall, team positive wins because they have more, and they win by 3 points. Next question, I have a -6, so I'm going down 6, and then I have to go down 5 more, which gives me an overall movement of -11. If you're thinking the teams method, team positive has 0 points, they did not score. Team negative has 11 points, so they win by 11. -10, so I'm going down 10, and then I'm going up 6. So my overall movement is going to put me at a -4. You can also do the teams. Team positive here has 6 points, team negative has 10 points. So team negative wins because they have 4 extra points. Next, I have a +12, so I've had to go up 12. I'm just estimating here when I'm pointing. I've gone up 12, and then I've had to go down 8. So that gives me an overall movement of 4, and that's a +4. If you think teams, team positive has 12, team negative has 8, so that means positive wins, and they win by 4 points. Okay, let's do some subtraction. So first, let's find the difference method. What is the difference between a -8 and a +4? So if you think -8 is way down here, +4 is way up here. So I've got 8 and 4 as a difference. I've got an overall difference of 12, and it's a positive because I'm starting at the -8 and I'm going up to get to the +4. You could also rewrite this to look like a 4 plus a +8, because that's adding the opposite, which still gives you your +12. Okay, let's look at this question now. I've got -1 minus 9. This 9 is positive, so this could also be rewritten. That 9 is positive, so I could write it like that. That is still -1 minus a +9. This is -1 minus a +9. So it's important to recognize that this 9 is a positive and it's being subtracted. So I'm trying to find the difference between a +9 and a -1. So let's put our 9 up here and our -1. So I'm trying to find the difference between a positive 9 and a negative 1. From the 9, I'll have to go down 10 places to get to the negative 1. So that gives me an answer of negative 10. If you want to rewrite this question as adding the opposite, I can add, instead of a positive 9, this will become a negative 9. So a negative 1 plus a negative 9 will still give me my negative 10. Okay, 3 minus 7. Trying to find the difference between 3 and a 7. That's a positive 7. That's a positive 3. What's the difference between the positive 7 and the positive 3? It's a negative 4, because I'd have to go down 4 to get there. If you'd like to rewrite this as an addition question, this 3 is still a positive 3. I'm going to add instead of subtract. And this 7, which was positive, I'll have to turn to negative. So a positive 3 and a negative 7. Overall, team negative wins by 4 points. Negative 5 minus a negative 4. So let's find the difference between negative 5 and negative 4. There's my negative 4. There's my negative 5. I'm going from negative 4 to negative 5. I've had to go down 1. You would like to rewrite this as an addition question. It would be negative 5 plus a positive 4. Here, team negative wins, and they win by 1 point. Negative 1.